I love In-N-Out, but I live in Florida, so I'm going to show you guys how I make it at home, and it's just as good. So first off, we're going to peel some Idaho potatoes, and then we're going to start to cut them in the shape of fries. You can do these as thin or as thick as you want to. It's all up to you, but this is how I like mine. We add them to a bowl, and now we're going to pour in some cold water, a tablespoon of vinegar, a tablespoon of salt, and then we're gonna go ahead and top it off with some ice and leave that sit for about an hour or so in the fridge. Now I'm cutting my onions because I wanted whole onions on top, and I'm gonna dice another set of onions for the caramelized onions. These are super easy to make. Put them inside of the pan on medium heat with some oil, some W sauce, some sugar, and then just let that caramelize down with a little bit of water, and this is what it should look like. Cut your toppings, whatever you wanted. I did tomatoes, lettuce, onions, and pickles. Now, for the sauce, we're going to go ahead and chop up some pickles really finely. Into a bowl, we're going to add some mayo, ketchup, mustard, a little bit of honey, all of those pickles, some vinegar, some pickle juice, and then some black pepper and a little bit of paprika, and give that a good mix. Cover it up and put it to the side. This is what it should look like. I rolled out some ground beef into 4-ounce balls, and then I flattened them really nice with some parchment paper. And now for the fries, we're going to pour out all of that water, put them onto some paper towel, and pat them dry. For my whole onions, I'm just putting them into that same skillet that I'm going to cook the burgers in and just sear them off on each side. Now for the fries, you want to make sure that they're really dry, and then you're going to be using 375-degree oil and fry them off for 5 minutes on the first fry, then pull them out and let them rest. For the burgers, put them inside of that same pan that the onions were in to get that flavor. Season them with some salt, pepper, and then when they're almost ready to flip, you put mustard on the side, brush it on, and then you flip it over and let them finish cook. Now, going back to our fries, once they've rested, go ahead and add them back into 350-degree oil and fry them till they look the way that you want them to look, about golden brown. It took me about like 5 minutes to get them this way. Season them up with some salt and pepper, nothing too crazy because we're going to be putting a whole bunch of sauce and stuff on there. Once the burgers were finished cooking, I topped them off with some cheese and covered it up so that they can melt properly. And then I stacked them up like these because we were doing double doubles. And now I'm going to assemble it really quick. So it was just toasted bun, some sauce, pickles, lettuce, tomato. Put on those patties, get your whole grilled onions, and rest those on top. Add some sauce to your bun and then put them on top of your plate with some parchment paper to hold them together. For my fries, I just laid down some slices of cheese, melted them up with my torch, and then spread out some sauce and top it with some caramelized onions, and then you're all done. It was super easy to make. Recipe is going to be in the caption below. Let me know what you guys think about it.